Attention marketers. In this episode, we're diving deep into the possible banning of TikTok and what that means for your marketing strategies. The AdHeroes will provide valuable insights into how this move could impact your brand's reach, engagement, and overall success on social media. From the potential loss of massive audience to the rise of new platforms, we'll cover everything you need to know to stay ahead of the game. So grab a pen and paper and prepare to take notes because this is an episode you don't want to miss. Become a subscriber to the podcast via Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, and now featured on Amazon and iHeartRadio. You can also watch us on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify. Be sure to like and subscribe and add the AdHero podcast to your feed. It's time to call the AdHeroes. Welcome to the AdHero podcast. My name is Gino Giovanni.
And I'm Matthew Olivieri. Gino, how we doing?
You can see as I've been getting in the last 2 weeks, but I am pumped for the show.
Lack of sleep. Why?
Yeah,
Why?
What's going on with that? Getting pulled everywhere and so forth. So running on fumes here today.
Okay. All right. Well, I can definitely relate to that. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped for the show, man. Ever since we launched season 5 last week with the new intro song, the new lightning round that we're about to do again here in a minute, especially that music. That music it's kind of reminding me like we're on an episode of Entourage.
Right? All we need now is just to be okay.
All we need now is, okay. Cue the applause.
All we need now is just to be pulled into a camera shoot where we're walking slow-mo in like some cool clothes,
Yeah, or getting out of a Lincoln convertible with the suicide doors, right? Famous intro scene from that show. Well, listen, we have a fantastic episode today, guys. We're hearing a lot about TikTok. There was a hot story last week about CEO Shao Zichu testifying on Capitol Hill, defending the popular app from the threat of being banned in America. Now, you guys may remember the app TikTok was actually supposed to be banned. I believe it was an executive order that was signed by former President Trump, but politics and legal challenges prevented the ban in 2020. Well, it's back in the news because Congress still feels that the app is a threat to America and security. And today, Gino and I are going to be kind of taking a different approach in terms of a marketing standpoint, as is the theme of this show. There's some marketing pitfalls to avoid and solutions to keep focused on when marketing your business. And so what we want to ask the question is, if you are solely focused on TikTok, what are you going to do if the app suddenly goes bye-bye? So we're going to get into that today. But before we do, like I mentioned just a few seconds ago, the brand new thing here on the show is called the Lightning Round. It's where Gino and myself basically grab a few headlines, a few stories, and we rifle through them. We try to give our hot take on an opinion that we have on different stories that are happening in the news. And that's just kind of a fun way that we can kind of keep you guys updated on what's happening, and you get to hear our opinions on it. But we call it the lightning round because, well, we are only supposed to give ourselves 1 minute.
Yeah, we're going to try to beat the clock today in
2
minutes. So like a 2-minute drill, if you will.
2 minutes. I think a 2-minute drill is better. I think last time we went a little bit over. 1 minute's kind of hard to really get the pins in. So we're going to go 2 minutes. So, Gino, I have the clock set, and let's put 2 minutes on the clock. And here we go. And
will the indictment of President Trump have entrepreneurs create T-shirts with his mugshot on it because now Trump will become a symbol?
Absolutely. They'll sell for $39.99 a T-shirt, and they'll probably sell out. Gino, IG blue check marks are now for sale. Are you interested in paying $180 a year for a blue check mark on your IG profile?
I am, but it's just sad when blue check marks used to mean something. Now you have to pay for it. Disney lays off another 300 employees, this time in China. All these big corporations who went woke the last few years are now losing money and employees. What happened, Matthew?
Go woke, go broke, as the saying goes. Yeah, that's as simple as that. Shouldn't have done that. Gino, America's pastime has finally kicked off its new season.
You know, anyone who knows me knows that I love baseball. However, because of Major League Sports and involving a lot of politics, I'm not too big of a fan of them anymore. But I will give a shout out to Sergio Romo and his retirement from the San Francisco Giants in Major League Baseball.
There you go.
Hey.
Woo! We did it. Hey, a minute and 35 seconds. So we actually might be able to trim that back to 1 minute. I like that rapid fire. Guys, if you like that segment on the show, give us some feedback on social media. Hit us with some comments on YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, wherever you're listening, tuning in. Let us know what you think of the new lightning round. Even feel free to toss us some questions that you want us to put on the lightning round. That would be cool too, right, Gino?
That's right. Absolutely. We're going to talk to you about something that affects millions of Americans, starting a new business and marketing it effectively. It's no secret that many entrepreneurs struggle with marketing their businesses, especially those who are just starting out. If this is you, then you might relate to this story. As an Ad Symbol representative, we talk to businesses owners from all across America, and we've noticed a lack of knowledge in many levels of marketing. Questions like, what do I do? Where do I begin? And how much do I spend are all too common. One problem we've noticed with a lot of clients is putting all their eggs in one basket. For example, relying solely on the social media app TikTok for their marketing. Sure, the app has over 1 billion users and cost-effective ad platform, but what happens if it gets banned? Our leaders in Washington have been arguing about banning the app for at least 2 years now due to privacy concerns. If it were to happen, it could result in the loss of about a third of some businesses' revenue. But let's not focus on the negative. Instead, let's talk about what businesses can do to avoid marketing or making marketing mistakes that could hurt their brand. Overspending, not starting your campaign on time, not optimizing your marketing, not understanding your target audience, and making marketing blunders are all things to watch for. Here are 3 quick points to keep in mind. Know your target audience. Branch out your marketing to different media and optimize your marketing. Assess your results and adjust if necessary. If following these steps, businesses can maximize their return on investment and achieve their goals more effectively. Remember, about putting all your eggs in one basket, branch out your marketing efforts to different platforms, optimize your marketing, and avoid making mistakes that could hurt your brand. Now, Matthew, should any small business who has up to this point concentrated solely on TikTok prepare for a possible ban and diversify and optimize their marketing on other platforms?
Yeah, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head when you said that right here at Ad Symbol, we do a lot of work with clients of all shapes and sizes, and those questions routinely come up where they are concerned, worried, unsure of how much money they should be allocating in every different bucket of their marketing ad spend to get their ROI. If you are someone right now, and we've done episodes on the AdHero podcast on TikTok strategies, most recently last season with Zach Cadena, who is has a pretty sizable TikTok following, and he generates quite a bit of monetization earnings every single month off his TikTok posts that he makes. Okay, so if you're a business or an influencer and you have put all of your eggs in that TikTok basket, the jig might be up. It remains to be seen if the government would actually ever go through with banning the platform, because I think it would be met with a lot of backlash, especially from the younger groups, younger people that have fallen so in love with this platform. They swear by it. They use it every day. I myself know a lot of people that just really, really, really love TikTok. But the chief concern that the government has is that the Chinese government has access to the servers and the user files and the interactions of all these American users, and kind of what they're posting and what they're clicking on and what they're engaging with. And the U.S. government is concerned that the Chinese government will utilize this information to start to profile and spy on various Americans and what they do on the app. And so that's really where that potential ban comes from. But now back to the root cause of everything is, if you're a business who's been solely focused on TikTok as a driver for your revenue and how you get leads and how you build awareness for your product, brand, or service, you need to start taking action immediately on diversifying and getting involved in other platforms. Just in terms of video platforms, there's, of course, YouTube, which we are on both for Ad Symbol and the AdHero podcast, and now a brand new platform called Rumble that is gaining traction, and a lot of people are enjoying Rumble as a different platform to YouTube. So there's other video platforms out there. And then with regards to social media networks, of course, you have Facebook and Instagram, which are now kind of becoming the senior citizen social media apps, if you will. The average age user of TikTok is, I believe, Gino, maybe correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe it's in the mid 20s to early 30s now, is like the average age of an Instagram user, whereas TikTok, it's more the 18 to 25-year-old demo. And Facebook is easily in the 40 plus. Average age of a Facebook user is probably 35 to 55 range, I would say, just based on personal experience and just to talking people. A lot of people, young people, really don't want to post on Facebook anymore. It's kind of like the old social network of the group, right? So, of course, there's still Snapchat. There's other platforms have emerged in recent times. So, bottom line is, in terms of an online presence, in terms of a social media presence, you have to start making plans right now of repurposing content on some of those other platforms to get your name out there. But we also want to bear in mind that each one of these platforms does have their own unique way that content gets through to users. And so, to use an analogy of like learning how to speak a language, you would not speak German in Italy, and you would not speak, Portuguese in London. Each country you go to has its own dialects, its own language. So you want to learn how to speak the language of each country, or in this case, you want to learn how to post content for each one of these apps to make it as effective as possible. So some of your TikTok's content, you could repurpose it on IG, but it's not entirely recommended to do that. It would be more advantageous to kind of make variations of your content for each unique platform. Plus, it kind of makes it kind of fun. If you have an audience that's following you right now on TikTok, and then the threat comes where they take it away, that audience would still be able to find you on Instagram and see that it's a little bit different flavor, but it's still you. It's still your product. It's still your brand. So that's going to help you keep that audience and really get them to connect with you on different places around the internet. Okay. Couple seasons back now, we had a gentleman on the show by the name of Gary Zelasco, and he talked about the importance of right place, right message, right time. Okay. So three-legged stool when it comes to advertising. That's really another important key thing to remember is right place, right message, right time. So again, kind of going off of what I just said, each platform, social media platform, does have its own little nuances. You do need to throw stuff out there by trial and error, see what works, see what's effective on each platform, and kind of run with it in that way. Okay. Also, you want to be conscious of what your audience looks like. So let's use two examples. Let's look at a local business, and then let's look at a regional or national business. If you're a local business, and we'll use one of our previous sponsors here of THAP, Silver Forest Christmas Tree Farm. They have a local presence in the greater Sacramento area. So they sprinkled a little bit of their marketing budget on some billboard ads, but then they also had a newspaper ad, and they also had a presence on Apple Maps, Google Maps, and on Facebook and Instagram. So all of those pieces of that puzzle kind of pulled together to bring them record-setting year of Christmas tree sales for consecutive years in a row. Is that correct, Gino?
Yeah, that's correct. Full disclosure, I work with Silver Forest.
Right. Now, so again, they knew their audience. They know their audience. They know where people are driving in from to cut down their own Christmas tree and have that wonderful experience. So they utilize these different avenues and sprinkle a little bit of money. They diversified their marketing spend to have coverage. They didn't solely focus on just Instagram, or in this case, TikTok. Okay. Now, if we look at a larger regional brand, like maybe take, for example, if you have multiple retail stores and you're covering an entire state, let's say, then even within the state, you're going to have different pockets of demographics of your customer base. So you're going to really want to zero in on each one of those territories and utilize different marketing initiatives to pull that off, to talk to that audience, to make sure they know that your storefront is available for them to come visit. All right. And finally, if we look at a large national brand like Coca-Cola, or even take the Marvel cinematic universe, when a brand new Marvel movie comes out, they not only blanket internet with ads for that Marvel movie, like recently Ant-Man came out, but they also partner with food chains like McDonald's. And so you'll go to the McDonald's and there'll be Ant-Man branding all over the McDonald's menus and on your soda cup and on your French fry box and all this stuff, right? So they utilize a multitude of ways because they have larger budgets to pull that off, where they can make sure you are seeing that movie's title in 500 different places and 5,000 different ways, right? They really want you to know that that movie is about to hit the theaters and you should go buy a ticket. So depending on, just to kind of bring it home, depending on your size and your marketing budget, if you, up to this point, have solely relied on TikTok, you really have to start looking at these other avenues, these other platforms, and coming up with a plan of strategizing and sprinkling a little bit of that marketing budget on a multitude of things, including billboards from opendisplay.com to complement the outside advertising presence, so people can find you even easier online with TikTok and all these other platforms.
How many more influencers do you know on TikTok? And if it gets banned, is this going to affect their business, do you think, or nah?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I know a handful of TikTok influencers that I've watched how they interact with the platform, and they do very well. They are monetized. They are making some good money off of it. But there are other platforms out there. You can get monetized for your content in that regard as an influencer on YouTube. Of course, there's Twitch, where we have the MJO Snap Show. That is another platform where you can amass subscribers and donations, otherwise known as donos, and bits and things like that. And so you have these same kind of concepts on TikTok right now. And I truly believe that these influencers don't have to feel locked into TikTok. There are other platforms that there's actually a brand new one that's kind of catching fire right now. It's called Kick. And if you haven't heard of it, look it up. It's called Kick. It's kind of trying to compete head on with Twitch, and it's giving a bigger percentage of every subscriber to, if you're broadcast your stream on Kick as opposed to Twitch. They're giving you a bigger payout per subscriber. So that's very appealing. So yeah, I mean, would it be scary if what you know is TikTok and you know instantly where to go in the app and how to make a really catchy TikTok video and get it to have it become trending and get a lot of views? Yeah, that's going to be a scary thing for these influencers. But the fact is, if you're running a business right now in 2023, you should not pigeonhole yourself in one particular platform, one particular outlet. Gino can testify to this. We don't even tell ad symbol customers that are open display users to only do billboards. We tell them that they should sprinkle their budget around to a multitude of things, because the billboards are going to complement their online presence and vice versa, right? And we always say that to everybody, and every one of our most successful customers has listened to that advice and actually deployed that. So they don't need to be worried. If you're listening to this episode right now and you're a TikTok influencer, don't worry. There are other places where you can put your content, put your personality, and still make just as much money, if not more. So there you go.
Just diversify, folks, and make sure to assess your marketing and optimize if need be, and you'll be fine. You know, I run across people all the time who don't know the first thing of marketing and don't know where to begin, and it could seem intimidating, but if you just follow those 3 things right there, you'll be fine. You'll be more than fine. It's actually a lot easier than you think. You don't have to run too many numbers and so forth when you're first getting started out. You know, just have fun with it and then learn as you go. We'll be right back after this message.
Well, like Gino summarized, diversification is key when you're launching a business, when you're running a business, especially a small business where your budgets might be tighter than a big corporation such as Coca-Cola or Marvel Cinematic Universe, 2 examples we gave earlier in the show. You really have to think about where are all the places that someone can discover you. If you're on TikTok right now, there is a very real threat that the U.S. government could decide to ban the app, which means that your entire livelihood, if that is how you are earning your livelihood and you're an influencer or you are a business that has a product or brand and you've been solely focused on TikTok, that is very, very problematic for you. But we have the solution, as we went over before. Start getting involved in other platforms, start building your presence on these other outlets so that no one single platform can hold you hostage. And should the U.S. government decide to take away TikTok for whatever reason that they decide and they vote on and it passes, you as a small business owner or as an influencer, you will not be affected because you had the foresight to listen to the AdHero podcast, get this information, and get on some other platforms. So that's the closing remarks.
Thank you for listening to the AdHero podcast. My name is Gino Giovanni.
And I'm Matthew Livieri.
Signing out.